Hey, friends! It's Kristen here, and I'm here with my good friend Nealay Patel of SilverSilk and more. Hello, everybody. Hello, Nealay.
Hi, Kristen. I think you saw me reaching for my crimp pliers just before I turned
We
around.
did. I was like, "You ready?" These lights, like, yeah, let's go. And then he turns around. That's all right. You're showing
I
everyone
had all
your
my
good
tools, but
side.
just needed my crimp pliers, and I was like, ah. Anyway, but we're here.
We're here. Oh my gosh, this has been such a great week. So, welcome, everyone. I'm Kristen Fagan with Softlex Company, and this is the finale class. We still have an after party, but this is the last presentation for the week. And I'm so excited to have my good friend Nealay here from SilverSilk and more to bring the party.
I always have fun during these lives, when they're live especially, and not so focused on just a tutorial, but also just this like fun time that we have. And I was
Mhm.
telling you earlier prior to this video starting that I hadn't had an opportunity to truly just sit down and create stuff because I've been running around either doing package fulfillment or knitting wire or something. And I missed this sort of opportunity to just like, let me just do some beading, please.
Right?
So I really just am excited to like bead with some friends and chit chat, and you and I always just have a good time.
Oh, and we're all excited for it. We are here for it. Nealay wasn't sure if he'd be here right at the start of the hour. So I gathered up all of my SilverSilk projects. I even have SilverSilk in my hair.
I saw that. And I was just like, she's bringing her A game in fashion. I am just not wearing anything SilverSilk. So like, I've got all this stuff behind me that I just decided I should have not put on, but I clearly needed to.
Oh, it's okay. We'll take a look at your beautiful kit, which I know is just going to be gorgeous. Did you all see that inspiration picture Nealay found for his kit? It's the Antelope Canyon. Be still my heart.
It's stunning. It's just a beautiful, one of my bucket list places to go and visit in real life. Just I don't know, the magnitude that nature has, not just for the creative soul, but what it does that we can experience is just phenomenal. So I was just so inspired by it and wanted to sort of draw that into a kit format with SilverSilk. And so, created my color palette and then started to pull materials and items that sort of reminded me of what I'm looking at from the picture and just the YouTube videos that I could find of visiting this place. And
Yeah. It's a pretty magical place. I know it's been photographed so many different times and it has all of these beautiful, like sensual curves that I think is it the wind that's created that?
wind and irrigation, I think, over time, it's just sort of, you know, uh, taken away the rock over time, I think is what sort of also sanded it down to what it
Yeah.
looks like. So just phenomenal.
Oh, Jamie says she's dying because it was sold out when she went to buy it. Yeah, Neelay's
Sorry.
kits go very fast because he puts together an amazing collection. He really does. But you know what, Jamie? Never fear. Nealay has another kit in the works. You
I
want to
do,
tell
I
him?
do.
You want to
Yeah.
tease it?
Well, I hate. Okay, so there's a caveat to all of this, right? Because there's something, but you all need to get on my text notifications list because I have a exclusive little store link that comes up that I put in products and kits and knitted wires and things that are small runs of either chains or I just have, parts and pieces of that I kind of collect and put together and package it in such a way. And as part of that text notification group, and all you do is just text hello to a number, which I feel like I should have gotten for you earlier. um, which I think
Well, if
I'll
you
pop
want,
into the group later. But
okay.
uh,
So stay tuned for that. And maybe, are you going to be here for the after party? Maybe you can bring the number with you.
I will
Um,
try and make it in the
okay.
beginning half, and then I gotta actually prepare for some house guests. So
You got it.
I can't party for too long because then I gotta really have like a cocktail after my day today.
Well, I'm reeling you back in for the beginning so that you have your text number to share with everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And we could do that at the end too. But anyways, my point is that the Great Bead Extravaganza is coming up here in the next month, and I've got a very special kit that I themed, and it's fall-esque, but it's also a timeless theme and concept, and I'm excited to release it. But the text notification group is the first people that know what this link is going to be and can shop before everybody else gets in.
You get a little inside scoop when you join the text list. So make sure to get on that so that you can get your kit from Nealay before he announces it live to everybody else. Very cool. Marianne says she's hoarding Nealay's kits. They are all so beautiful with his bead selection and special SilverSilk wire weaved just for the kits.
Oh,
yes.
Mahalo, Miss Marianne. She's such a sweetheart and truly does collect. I think she has one of everything that I have.
So she's got the full Nealay collection.
She does, yeah. She's collecting.
Oh my gosh, stuff. I love it. So if you guys don't know, if you don't know what the Great Bead Extravaganza is, it is a collective of bead stores and small business owners that came together to create this wonderful bead show. It happens a couple of times a year. You can find out more information over at thegreatbeadextravaganza.com. You can join us on Facebook at the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page, where you'll see all of the past replays of our events, as well as that's where the future events take place. And you can join us in the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group, which has a lot of ongoing participation throughout the year from all of the small business owners. So that's what he's talking about when he mentioned that. Our next one is in October. I believe it's the 21st to the 23rd, possibly.
I think that date is correct. I can verify real quick. Yeah, 21st is our preview night.
Great.
Followed by our days.
Yay. And then if you don't know Nealay, if this is the first time you're tuning in for SilverSilk, Nealay, tell us a little bit about your product and what you've got going on.
I'd love to. So the product is called SilverSilk. It is a knitted wire jewelry chain, and it's currently produced as 6 different lines. So there is the popular chain, sort of the premier product of the 6 different lines, which is called Capture Chain. This is a ball chain that has a knitted wire that's woven over it. The size of the ball chain is 2.5 millimeters. So by the time you get the knitted sleeve over it, it's about 3 millimeters. And if you can kind of picture one of those, like, it's almost like a kid's craft item that has latch hook needles on it. Just imagine that, but in a much smaller scale. And it's machine stitched. And so there is a machine that is taking this wire, drawing it through a certain apparatus that then knits and draws the knitted wire over that ball chain, nice and tight and very dense. And it creates this very free-flowing, luxurious, very highly detailed and intricate jewelry chain. It's super lightweight. It feels so good on the skin because of that knit and how dense it is. And it just is, you can make so many cool color combinations with it. And that is also followed up by another product called Perles Chain, which that's a 2-step process. So you got the ball chain core, and then there's a rainbow tinsel that's knitted over it. And that rainbow tinsel knit gives a rainbow flash to the chain after the wire has been knitted over it. So it's got this really cool multi-layered effect that, I remember this project from our Great Bead trade.
Yeah.
So this was one of those, go ahead.
This is the Perles chain right up here that I'm trying to get close in on.
You could kind of see that's a silver wire that's been knitted over it. But underneath it is this sort of a colored rainbow holographic tinsel. It's very thin, but whenever it is kind of woven together, you get a very bright rainbow tint to it. And then
is that the newest one in that line? Would you say it was the Perles? Not the Perles.
No, so the captor chain is the premier product, and then the Perles chain is sort of the extra. I
The
feel like the
extra,
people that are
extra.
really
I
wanting it to
gotcha.
be like that sparkle and pizzazz, and I don't know, it just kind of heightens the capture chain in a different direction. That's just so it's extra, right? Like me. So there's also the hollow mesh, which
Mhm.
is a yes, there's
Which
some
is
right
what I
there.
used for my headband.
Jeez, for your headband. This is a 5 millimeter hollow mesh. It's essentially the same knit process. It does not have a core inside of it. Instead, it's been opened up so you could stuff your own beads or leather cord or beading wire or just anything that is around 4 millimeters or under into that tube. And it comes in a lots of different colors to choose from, just depending on what kind of project. And in fact, if you guys did grab the kit, you've gotten 3 feet of the antique copper to play with, which we are going to use today for one of our projects. And then there's a pearlesque version of that where there's a rainbow mesh woven in with it.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's definitely keeps with the sparkles and the extra, and there's some additional colors in that range that are not sold in the regular hollow mesh. Um, Following that is the flat mesh, which does not have a stuffing as well, but instead it takes 8 needles to create a larger diameter that's then sort of press rolled and then spooled up. Yeah, exactly.
I love
Um,
the flat mesh. I think the flat mesh
so
is
fun.
really pretty.
It's a different it's a whole different ribbon medium that you can use as a necklace rope or whatever, really.
Well, that's
And
what's
that's
great about them. They all have their own individual style for what they're like best known for. But then obviously you can mix and match lots of different things. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and I've actually I love mixed media. I don't know about you. I feel like I'm speaking to my soul sister anyway, though. Like mixed media design and trying to like combine different things into one cohesive thing. I love that challenge. It's so much fun. And I think that's where I've really just that's where I've gotten into it with SilverSilk, right? Is that I have all these different things, but how do they work together? Because I know they can work separately, but that's part of the fun challenge is that they don't have to be used in the same way.
right.
They can be mixed and matched. So yeah, so there's like 10, 15 colors of that, flat mesh. And then finally the pipe chain, which is a relatively newer product to the SilverSilk family.
So Lois says, "Wow, Kristen, you have it all, but I do not because I do not have any pipe chain yet."
We need to fix that because I was working on yours and Sarah's bag of things that I need to send out to you. So I will make sure to include some pipe chain.
I kind
Oh
of
my
was
gosh,
ruffling
I've been a bad
through
friend.
because I knew that you put it in the Great Bead Trade package, and I was like, "Oh, I think I have some." And then I was like, "Oh, I didn't get that one this time. I didn't
Dang.
get the Great Bead Trade." So I was like, "Darn it! No, pipe chain is still new for me, so I haven't tried it yet. But I know I've seen so many great designs with it, and
Yeah.
super cool. I don't know if you noticed, Nealay, but Thomas found your text notification page. So go ahead and sign up anyone for SilverSilk's text notifications at silversilkonline.com/text dash
Perfect.
notifications. And then you can be on the inside crowd, be with the cool kids over on Silver Silk and get the scoop before everyone else.
I
And
also love
one
how my text notifications work because I don't bombard you. It's coming from two people, myself and my friend who helps out. Her name is Joan. She reminds people of when tutorials are posted, which is every other week, or when they're going live. And then I occasionally just chime in with a message every now and then just to say, "Hey, how you doing? Happy Friday!" Or sometimes I give a coupon code. It's very sporadic and it's not salesy at all. Like you know who you're talking to. And some
right.
people ask questions on there that I try and reply back at a timely manner, but it's just great. It's another form of for us to keep in touch, I guess.
Very cool. Yeah,
For
Jennifer Miller
sure.
says pipe chain. It is life changing. And
What a
Jody says, love
sweetheart.
the pipe chain. It is so easy to use. The pipe chain is so pretty. So this
Aw.
leads me into, before we get going too much further, this leads me into our giveaway for this hour. We're giving away a mystery design kit, the Peace and Love kit. And all you got to do is comment. You also have to be here at the end of the show when we announce the winner. So if you're here at the end, you have to say, hey, I'm here, and you will get it. Otherwise, you'll end up forfeiting it, and we'll choose another winner. So the question for this hour is, which product line of Nealay's is your favorite knitted chain to work with? And you can say all of them if you love them all, but I'm very curious to hear, and I have a feeling that pipe chain is going to be a bit of a fan favorite, and I'm a little sad I haven't even seen it yet in person.
Well,
but we're going to fix that.
I'm going to fix that, first of all. Yes, I will send a lot of colors to you and Sarah to make sure that you guys can have lots to play with. And I really want one of your kits, so if I
we'll have
enter
to
by
do
saying
that.
all of them, and I'm going to be here to the end of the show too, as a matter of fact. So I just feel like
we might have to give away more than one prize. This might be the first presenter that's putting in the bid for the giveaway. I like it.
Didn't say otherwise. I'm just following rules.
This is true. It was not in the disclaimer. So Nealay says all of them. Make sure he's counted. Well, looking at what I've created, I've used the capture chain the most, for sure. I definitely have that in a lot of my favorite designs that I wear pretty regularly. And then I love the flat mesh. That one, I only have one necklace I've created with it, and I have one other little strand of it that I have to play with still, but I love the one that I have. And of course it's in my favorite color. So,
Green,
which is all the greens and browns.
Those are my favorite colors too. So I think that's a dynamic design, of course.
And then the hollow mesh is super fun because you can do stuff like this. So this is, I made this as a choker too, and as well as a headband, so you could see it on here, and you kind of weave in and out throughout. This is what it looks like.
Ooh, yes.
I'm so bad with this. I'm really
That's perfect.
And it's very soft, and it's got a little stretch, which is why it was perfect for putting it on my head. And then I have a ribbon that I attached on the back. So I don't know.
Cute.
I can't say pipe chain, so I can't say all of them, but I'll have to say.
When we revisit for the next Customer Appreciation Weekend, we do the same, maybe similar question.
Right.
It'll be fixed by that point.
So Thomas, the question is, which product line is your favorite? And it can be capture chain. I'm just going to put the pearlesque in with there. So capture chain, flat mesh, hollow, pipe chain, and all of them.
Perfect. That's a great description of the different ones that I think, but I also have a distinct feeling that pipe chain will probably kind of work its way to the top. I think
it's probably the most easily accessible, I think, that anyone can work with a variety of different materials. So I can see why that would be a fan favorite and why it's just gaining in popularity so quickly.
It's such a funny hybrid of like a capture chain with a hollow mesh that just happened to be like the perfect medium to string through stuff, or string stuff through it, including the beading wire, the Softflex beading wire, which I don't even know how, like, it's one of those things that just worked out magically at life, right? Just like the combinations and the stuff that you could do with these two things is just unbelievable.
Well, let's take a look at the kit and see what you're going to be working with today. I'm going to add your thing back in the screen here and just highlight it entirely.
Right. Oh yeah, it's a mess of stuff, but here's what I'll do. Let's start with maybe the inspiration photo. as sort of the introduction. So with my kits, they are limited usually whenever I am able to, launch them. And this is the Antelope Canyon. You get this really great inspiration card that you can use beyond the kit because it's got these great colors that you can draw from your own bead stash and start to pair it with stuff that's found in the kit. So the kit's really a great start to the theme, but it doesn't have to end with it either. So that was just sort of a nice way to extend out the design capabilities. And then it comes with an insert. I had just unpackaged all of this ahead of time, but this includes sort of the items included in the kit if you're wanting to research or find similar things, whether it be in my store or my friends' stores out there. So it mentions all of that stuff, some of the inspiration behind what Antelope Canyon is and what it means for me to have drawn out some of those inspiring colors for the palette. And so immediately, I can kind of give you a little tour here of the beads and stuff. I'm going to grab a bead dish for myself. I just thought this was the cutest thing ever. And I feel like since we're on a travel theme, I have to have this little bike with me.
Oh my gosh, it's adorable. I love
This
it.
is actually made by a local potter. Not that I'm really trying to plug my local artisans here, but I love these little things. They're so handy to have.
It's beautiful. And you just made me, I mean, I'm a sucker for pottery. That's definitely like something I always gravitate towards when I'm at a craft fair or something like that. I'm like, oh, I just love the look of it, the handmade feel of it. And I have quite a bit of different little bowls and stuff around my house. And I don't know why I never moved them to my bead table. That's a smart idea.
Yeah, I just have like all kinds of different little ones that I can kind of. The only thing is, I wish these kind of had a little dip in it so that I could pour stuff back instead of on the floor.
Smart. I've made some myself with like air dry clay, and that's a good idea. Maybe I'll
really
dip in there.
That's so smart. That's such a good idea. I'll either have to buy one off you or find out if someone can invent this dish for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they can. You're like, I just need a little spout, like a little, just to pull my beads out.
I just need a little spout. No, so this was more of a bead soup. So there was some expected items such as these little drops. I forget which stone. I'm such a horrible gem expert. But I know whenever I find a stone and just fall in love with the colors that are swirling through it, it was such a great match for this kit. To
Lovely.
have them. Yeah, and then there's some of these darker stones. This has some red striations in it, as well as the greens. And then there's just some mix of glass and other swirly color beads in here.
So someone's saying that her mix looks a little different, but I think you said it was a bead soup, right?
It was a bead soup. Yeah, there's not everyone's gonna have all the same stuff. This was one of those that I found lots of different strands of things, and then I just poured it into a bucket and then kind of split it out from there. But yeah, you get some different little blue glass pieces. There should be a couple bead caps in there. Some of these great little lava beads and red beads to kind of balance out that color palette. And you get some of these lighter sort of peach tones to, again, go with that stone rock feel. So there's lots of supplies in here to work with as far as beads go, because you also have these 3 strands that came in your kit. This is some gem cut rondelles.
I love that shape. I think it's so fun.
Yeah, they're super versatile. I love them as spacers or just adding another pop of color into the design. That's, not in the little bead soup there. And then I added a strand of carnelian colored beads. These are just some check glass 6mm facet ones. And then these are pinch beads, I believe, and they just kind of coordinate with the color. So I was like, this is a pretty good,
very cute
mix here. It was enough to get me started.
And those of you that got the Softlex kit too, our Customer Appreciation Week bead mix that was in there has some of those blue tones similar to what Nealay has in his mix. So if you need to add a little extra blue or maybe the little purple tanzanite in there, go grab the Softlex kit and add some of the little leftovers you have there, because
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure.
included the tanzanite beading wire, which he's holding right now, which matches perfectly.
Yeah, so this wasn't in my kit, even though I want to use this today in today's project, or one of today's projects. I pulled this out and I was just like, oh my goodness, like apparently this was meant to be. This is just so perfect for the tanzanite that sort of worked its way into the palette.
Oh, I have someone saying they haven't used your chain yet and they don't know what to say is their favorite. Well, maybe you can take a look at some of the options he's got and just tell us which one you'd like to work with if you had the chance. You could find Nealay's product line over at silversilkonline.com, and he's going to share with us. What do you have? Hollow mesh, you said today?
Yeah, I've got some hollow mesh, and in fact, in the kit you also got some pipe chain, and you got some capture chain. So there's like quite a variety.
Yeah, so there's 3 of the options right there that you can see, and let us know which one would be your favorite to try.
It's like this kit was really a gateway for newbies to SilverSilk, to try a variety of products within the same scope of a theme, and still have some, even if there's nothing else in the kit. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. Even if there's, well, actually, I don't even know what I was going to say. If you wanted to get nothing else outside of the kit and you just wanted to work with the materials in here, you absolutely could. That's what I was trying to say. Mostly because I've included also some Softlex 22 gauge copper. This is antique copper wire. And craft wire is used for so many things, right? It's just an easy way to wire wrap something to make bead links, to work with the pipe chain stuff into the pipe chain to make something. So we'll use this for something today as well. I included some memory wire because the memory wire bracelets are a fan favorite. I think that is.
I've seen some of those and they've been really, really nice
thing
with
to
the
use
pipe
with.
chain.
Yeah, exactly. So we might dabble there a little bit. I included a pair of triple strand end caps, and some of them I forgot to package it inside of the kit as I mailed them out. So I had to swiftly grab those packages and drop the little triple strands back into the kit or into the package. So if you saw some triple strand end caps that were just randomly in your package, now you know where that came from. And then I have a pair of single strand end caps, and then I've got some earring wires, a little lobster clasp with some jump rings. So it's sort of I kind of really thought about where a person who wanted to create something from it, their journey through this kit. So I tried to include everything.
It's beautiful. And you've got so much to work with there. It really is a very full kit with lots of ideas and options that can be had.
For sure. So I don't really know where to start, so I'm just going to start with the easiest thing, which is the memory wire. And I thought we could do a swift little bracelet together. And maybe it's not super big. We could do just a couple of the rings here. The only issue that I see is that I don't have my cutters on hand because they're in my other room. So I'm going to grab those if you wouldn't mind entertaining for 1 minute.
I can entertain. I can do that. Speaking of memory wire cutters, I'm very excited to see how Nealay cuts his memory wire because, like I've said before, for some reason, I can't cut memory wire. I have the cutters. I have the right cutters. I just don't hold it up into the right place. It's a very strange phenomenon.
I will probably end up doing the same, to be honest, because now, of course, because I'm on camera, everything's going to be awkward.
Right.
But I just have a pair of double flesh cutters, and well, I guess that worked out okay.
That worked perfectly. I don't know what I do. I'm not sure. It's I feel like I must get it in a weird groove or something, and I'm overthinking it. Is probably what's happening. I think I'm making it way harder than it needs to be.
Could be. Sometimes I do that too, so don't feel too bad. So what I'm gonna do is grab my round nose pliers and I'm just gonna create a little hooky thingy at the end here. Just a little P-shaped loop that kind of faces out. It's gonna shift and turn on you as you work with this anyways, but I tend to just kind of leave it at that P shape, which will have some, either you could put some beads on it now or, but the pipe chain right up against it if you want to, but we'll start with the bead. We'll just take this easy, right? So we'll just start with bead.
Beads are always good. Starting with
Beads
beads
are
are always good.
always welcomed. So what I also want to do is probably cut some of my strands here.
Jody is saying the blue in the Softlex kit matches the blue in the SilverSilk kit perfectly. It does. I knew it. As soon as I saw Nealay's picture for his kit, I went, oh my goodness, we did it again. We have kits that are going to be, they're going to coordinate. Like we're just always on the same color wavelength. It boggles my mind. And I'm so, what's the word? I can't believe it because I look at Nealay and I'm always like, I love the combinations he puts together. And maybe it's because that's what I would like to do too.
Every time this sort of thing happens, like it's not always kits either. It's like designs or it's something. It's something, right? So like we need to start playing the "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears, and then
That's a
that is
great
going to
idea.
be our GIF or theme for every time we do this.
Oh, I love that. It's so true. Kathy is saying, are you talking about the Autumn Dreaming Kit? Yes, we're talking about the Softlex Customer Appreciation Autumn Dreaming Kit that we put together. They're not exact matches, but they have a lot of overlap that the colors all work together really well. And the blue for sure is the Tanzanite blue is a perfect match. Serendipity. Yep. Nealay and I are very serendipitous.
We are. That's such a great term. I like that.
It's a good.
So with my pipe chain, I'm just going to use regular flush cutters. With SilverSilk products, you can cut it anywhere you want to, and it's not going to fray or unravel because of the wire capabilities. It's just the technology of it, of what it's used to create this knit, prevents it from unraveling. So you don't have to worry about cutting it too short or too much of it off because it's not going to go anywhere. So what I do is I just sort of kind of work with my fingers back and forth to get it drawn over the memory wire. Once it's on there, you can kind of grab it with your chain nose pliers, as you see here, and then just start to kind of work it down. And this is truly, I think, a great introduction into what pipe chain is and what you can do with it, and such an easy project to do. I used to not like memory wire because I thought it was such a cheesy, weird product that I don't know why I was so adverse to it, but maybe I just needed
Well,
something.
I think back in the day, there was just like a certain look that was always created with it. And now
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much more inspiration for some neat designs. Like the pipe chain really adds a cool element to the look. Or if you add some, I've seen people do leather tubing, that adds a very cool
Oh
element.
yeah.
So yeah, so I do feel like it's grown on me from maybe where its humble beginnings once were.
That's so like nice for you to say that. I was just like, this product was cheesy. I didn't like it, but
Well, I also like how like what you're doing right now, you've got like a little bit of a color block situation going on. It gives it a really
mhm.
modern feel and it could be asymmetrical. You don't have to do the exact same pattern the whole time.
Yeah, this is one of those projects that you really don't need to overthink or overplan and design because the more you think about it, I feel like the more planned it's going to look. Whereas when you just stop doing that and you just start working with what's on your table and seeing already this palette of stuff matches, so you don't have to worry about its placement. You just want to make sure you balance out all of your different elements to where it, looks nice and random. But you don't have to worry about what beads you put on if you're just stringing stuff. You know that everything's just going to match quite well.
Yeah, that's a beauty of a kit where somebody, in this case, Nealay has put all of these colors together for you, so they're all going to work harmoniously and create a beautiful product. You can take away the decision aspect of it and just kind of
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Some of my, if I can do a shameless plug on my silkies.
Yes,
um,
please do.
Yeah, I've got this Facebook group called the SilverSilk Silkies. It is catered mostly by my buddy Teresa, who sort of is the welcome committee for the Silkies. And we're not a group of chickens, if that is what
Is that a
silky
thing?
means.
Silky?
Apparently, silkies is another term for a specific type of chicken. So we've had some people that want to enter the group that are more into the farming and agricultural industry.
Oh,
And
that's
we've sort of
funny.
had to explain to them that we're actually about knitted wire and not so much as chickens. But anyway, um,
I
they,
think I've seen a silky actually. I have a friend that raises chickens and
oh,
sells like chicken feed and the coops and all that stuff. And
really?
I think I've seen the silky.
Oh, that's awesome. I bet they're really soft and cute in real life as well. I haven't been,
Teresa rocks, Marianne says. She does. Teresa's really sweet. She's a great welcome
yeah,
committee.
absolutely. Oh, my point was that there's lots of great examples within the group that these great creative people are putting together designs that just blow my mind. Some of are from my YouTube tutorials and stuff, and then some of it is, just designs in their head that they've brought out in real life, and I'm just always stunned. Jennifer Miller, in fact, if I can spotlight her for a second, just had done some great tutorials for me recently and really rocked a fun, easy, approachable style that's just great for beginner level all the way to, if you're just looking for ideas and already the techniques and stuff. It's just really great to learn from other folks out there that that are very fashionable and fun.
How fun is it to see other people creating their own unique designs with a product that you make? I mean, it's just got to be the best.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it truly is just such a rewarding experience because I don't know. I don't know how to describe everything that I make is by me, right? So I don't have an elaborate facility or anything. It's I'm just in that sort of small merchant mindset and kind of work from my home to make the dream happen. But it is, I think that's what gives it its like humble, I don't know, journey, for the lack of a better term. And
Yeah.
my closeness to my customers and friends that are out there that want to use my product.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Colleen is saying there are so many inspiring ideas in the group and the YouTube library is amazing.
Oh, thanks,
Yes.
Colleen.
Yeah, be sure to check out. Is it just Silver Silk on YouTube or is it Silver Silk and more?
SilverSilk and more. Yeah, so all of my social media handles are Instagram, YouTube. What else do I have? I think that's really about it. Well, Facebook, I guess. It's all SilverSilk and more.
Fantastic. So follow Nealay on all the places. He is a brilliant designer
Oh,
and is sure to inspire.
yes. Or I just entertain, really, depending on the day.
He is entertaining too. Yeah. So you'll get a little dose of entertainment along with it, which, hey, we
Just be
could
a
all use
little
that.
crazy, but crazy is not bad.
The good kind of crazy.
Sure. All right. So I just kind of, I was sort of yammering away with random stuff, put this easy thing together that one can wear. And all you do at the end here is just kind of, once you've
And
papered
you
out
get
your
to
design.
wear it at the end, guys. I mean, you get to make it and wear it and get
And
to
wear
wear
it, yes. I know, I'm saying,
it.
like,
I love
this
it.
is why I didn't accessorize today, is because I wanted to wear my creations and
There you
show
go.
you that we can
See?
make stuff and wear it on the fly.
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I
That
think
what color is that pipe chain? That's lovely. It's
that's
like
a
a
great
rusty.
question. Yeah, it's a rustic red. I don't know. It's actually not in my collection on my website. It's actually a
Oh, so
unique
you
product to the kit.
a kit exclusive.
Hmm.
I have a tank top I just got that's in that color and I was wearing it yesterday. And I was
Ooh.
like, this is a good color. I think it's like it might be my fall favorite right now. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's a
What's
gorgeous color.
interesting is that the chain under the pipe chain, the tubing, I guess I should say, which is a red silicone tube, is kind of a bright neon color. And then whenever you knit wire over it,
No,
it's sort of, yeah, it sort of takes on, I don't, either a metallic
it
feel or
tones,
it,
yeah, it tones it
yeah,
down in such a beautiful way.
right.
Wow. I would have never guessed
Actually,
that
now
that
that I'm
was
looking at it,
neon.
I'm like, I'm wondering if I just, because I could make a bracelet for, I like simplicity personally, and I like just pops of color. But for the boys in your life, this could just be a great little bracelet by itself.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's a beautiful color. Jennifer says we love the kit exclusives.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
there's plenty of them in the pop-up store. Again, since I've got some folks that have already been on the texting list, but there's a lot to look forward to there. Um, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to make something with this now, so I'm trying to think.
Oh,
You know
Sarah's
what?
here. She
Actually,
said very red jasper. Yeah. And red jasper is for sure one of my favorite Softlex
ooh,
colors that I forget
yes.
about until the fall comes around. And then I pull it out again and I'm like, oh, this is gorgeous.
You know what?
It's
Let
such a
me.
good color.
I think I have it here. You're probably correct. And actually, this might be spinel, which is
Oh,
actually a
yeah. The
color.
spinel works too. See, that it has the spinel is like a soft red, and the red jasper will just have a little bit more of that orangey, rusty tone in there.
Is this more spinel? Oh, how many spinels did you guys hook me up with here?
You're loaded up on spinel.
I
That
am.
must
Oh my
be,
gosh, how many spools do I?
is that copper? Which one? What's the one next to it?
It's
Is
another
that?
spinel.
Oh, it's just that it's been
It's like
used.
a remnant spinel. I think I
We
just
must
have
have sent you a spinel pack.
it's a trio of spinels. Yeah, I think I might have used it up in a different project, but apparently I've got all the spinels if I'm
Melanie
really.
is wondering how many Softlex wires can you get through the chain? I think you're
Ooh,
talking about the pipe
great
chain.
question.
That is a good
Uh,
question.
I feel like that should be the question of the day.
I haven't used it yet, so I don't know.
You know what? We should measure it now, and then like later when people forget about this video and they're like mesmerized by something new, we can ask it as a trivia question.
Right?
I'm guessing 2 to 3, but let's just see.
Jennifer says that she got 3 through it comfortably.
We should have
Colleen,
actually asked the audience to see what that
what
number would have been.
what they would have thought.
Yeah,
Colleen says she'll take some of that spinel off your hands, friend.
yes, done and done. But also, I love my soft flex, so I might have to fight you on it. Just kidding.
Kathy
I
says, what
love
about Garnet? Yeah, Garnet is very similar to spinel. It's a little bit darker. The Garnet's a little bit darker of a color, but they're very
yeah.
close.
I'm having 0 problems getting 3 through this, so that's a pretty good number.
Cool.
I think I could probably get 4 because there's still a little bit of room. So Melanie brought up a good point of like how many of what can you fit in it, and that hole is about 1 millimeter through the chain. So you can think about maybe 2 millimeter leather. You can do memory wire, of course, up to maybe 20 gauge wire. To even like 18 gauge wire might fit through this pretty easily. Any thicker than that, and it would not work as well, or just be easy to do. So that's why I included the 22 gauge because it was just small enough to fit through the chain pretty easily, but also, um, strong enough to craft something with. if you
That
wanted
sounds
to.
lovely, Kathy. Kathy says she bought the garnet to go with your dark rose. I think that sounds like a
Oh,
beautiful combination.
yes. This one's the dark rose chain.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's perfect. Yeah.
mhm.
And
And in
Jennifer
fact,
says four
go
was
ahead.
tricky with the longer piece of pipe chain, but for shorter pieces, you could probably use the four.
Ah, yes, that's a great piece of advice, Jennifer. I'd agree with that because anything longer and you really start to have to use tools to fit it through. 18 gauge fits through the pipe chain with room to spare. That's perfect. Yeah, if you have a lot of spinel like I do, that also works well with
That looks
the
beautiful.
dark rose
Yeah,
chain there. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going to save that to the side for now, and I did want to maybe construct something with the hollow mesh next.
perfect. I know that someone earlier on had a question about the end caps. So I don't know if you would use the end caps on the hollow mesh, but maybe you can share a little bit about them at some
Yes,
point.
so there's some options, and in fact, this brings up a good point. Maybe Thomas on the background can help out grabbing that. On my website, there's a tab called SilverSilk Education, and each of those links is dedicated to a page that has all of the information for each SilverSilk line. It's a very useful page. If you're new to SilverSilk, you definitely want to explore what that page has information-wise, and that covers everything except for pipe chain at this particular time. I actually am developing some new stuff on the background before I launch that page next, but all of the other chain lines are in there. All right.
Jennifer
So
says Thomas is the bomb. He is amazing. He is. He's been
he
so
is
good. He's been such a help this week. Thank you, Thomas. You've really been wonderful helping us out at Softlex
definitely,
Company, as well
yeah,
as all of our presenters, grabbing their links and making it easy for all of us to see um, what everyone is talking about.
yeah. I feel like everyone that I've worked with in Softflex over the years, super, super sweet, nice, helpful, very, educated in the where the world is technology wise and with website stuff. So you guys have just been such a great resource of information for me and my small business over the years. And so I just
Aw.
wanted to say thank you. And you guys are so amazing.
Oh, thank you. It's been wonderful to work with you all these years, Nealay. Actually, I was thinking before we went live that you, out of all the presenters, you're probably the one that I've known and worked with the longest, for sure,
Really?
collaborating. I think
Oh.
so, because I've always been done a lot of stuff on the back end, and it isn't only until
Mhm.
the last few years that I've kind of stepped in front of the camera and collaborating with everybody a lot more.
I feel
Um,
like that was Sarah's doing.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sarah's saying thanks to the entire Softlex team this week. Everyone is working so hard. We do really foster
Mhm.
an atmosphere of collaboration and community at Softlex, and we all help each other out, and we all step in as much as we can to help when someone else is having a tough time, and it's lovely, and that spills out into all of this. So you guys get to kind of see it, when we're on video, but there's a lot of that happening in the background at Softlex Company too. That's really lovely. But yeah, oh, speaking of Sarah, so those of you guys know and love Sarah. She is really good. And Nealay, you can attest to this. I know super good about encouraging all of us around her to push ourselves out of our comfort zone and really make some of the next big steps.
Yes, yeah, definitely a great pusher toward doing better and more stuff that we know is like gonna be some, there's gonna be some pain points, but the rewards are so big whenever stuff does start to happen. So I've always appreciated that about my friends because
Yeah.
there's that ability to push people to their best. And I feel like you know, that's what a real friend does at the end of the day too. They
Yeah.
know what your potential is and they want you to be able to express that.
She says a great pusher.
Yeah, a great pusher.
She doesn't push you over the edge per se, but she gets you just a little
You know what? I
closer.
can give you an example. I can give you a really good example because whenever I first started working with you guys, Sarah and I just were so new to each other's friendship by that point, I think. We sort of talked in and out of emails and stuff. But I remember my first book had come out at that time and it was heavily softflex influenced. Um, and she presented this opportunity that I thought was a trade show. She was like, "Do you want to go to Knoxville and talk about softflex?" And I probably didn't read on far enough, and then I committed to, yeah, let's do
You're
it.
just like,
So
wait, what? Sure.
yeah, exactly. And then my plane tickets, everything was like purchased. I was there. I was halfway there, and then I remember I was like, "So what are we doing?" She was like, "Well, you're going to be on TV." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I didn't know what was happening, but I knew to be prepared for stuff because I had demonstration stuff ready to go. I made sure that I was going to look nice in public and stuff, and then I had no idea, or maybe just was never really asking the right questions of like, "Hey, what are we doing?"
Right, right.
And we just did it, and it was a completely new experience for me. But watching Sarah work in front of the camera was just magical,
She is really
really
something
eye-opening.
else. All right. She's here. She said, I got to watch your first live video, Nealay.
It was extremely scary, Sarah, but I got over it. And it actually gave me tools to later on do these sort of live shows. So I feel
Yeah.
like you knew what you were doing ahead of time.
Sarah's really amazing with stuff like that. She just gets it. She just gets out there and she always hits like all of the points that she wants to make. And she doesn't get really easily befuddled or anything like that, you know? So yeah, she's totally an inspiration to a lot of us. And I know that for me, she has pushed me to do a lot. And she got me on jewelry television
Yeah.
also when
Yeah, that's that, well, how did she do it for you?
well,
Did
she
you
was
just
like,
like
hey, let's write a book.
and
and then
voila.
and then I was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, oh, we're gonna go put this book on Jewelry School TV. Or and I was like, oh, okay. But I will say, you know, that was probably one of the moments that my mom probably really was like, could tangibly see something that I did because I was like, I'm on, you know, she's a big like home shopping network kind of person. And
Mm-hmm.
now I was on the jewelry version of this and it was it was a
Oh,
proud moment.
that's awesome. I think I would say the same for my parents, although I was so traumatized at that first time because I was like, did I do everything right? Did I make Scott and everyone else, behind the scenes happy? Like, what is
Hmm.
what does Mike think? I don't know. There
Oh
were
my
so many
gosh.
like thoughts running through my head that first time around, and I remember us going to sushi as sort of a celebratory like end of the filming thing, and we had a call with Scott and Mike, and they were just so proud and gave me some tips of encouragement and just some great feedback and things that I could work on, and it was good stuff. Like it was stuff that I needed to hear and do better with, and again, that was just sort of setting me up for um, things that I would need later down the road that I had no idea that
So
I needed.
I love this story. And Nilay, a few people want to know what you're doing. So
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. I should probably teach a class while I'm at it. Okay, so
did you crimp the end that's inside the mesh, is that side crimped already or no?
no, it's not crimp. So, okay, so this is start from the beginning here.
I
This
know
is hollow mesh.
we can just get going on a story, and it was beautiful to hear. I loved it.
Yeah, that was a conclusive ending for sure. So, this is a good time to break into actually teaching. I have this chain. It is again the hollow mesh, which has a roughly about a 4 millimeter opening, and you can stuff anything up to about 4 millimeters or under into this particular chain. So I took those little pinch beads that I spilled out into my bead dish earlier, and these are about 3 millimeter, and they do have facets on it, sort of, because it's a pinch bead. So I think for the size that it is, and I'm worried about facets usually because it can get stuck in the knits. But this one just slid right through.
Yeah,
Or it
they're
will
kind of
slide right through.
a little smoother, I think, right? They're
Yeah.
not like a hard facet.
Right, right. So what I did to make this string through is whenever you pass beading wire through this chain, you have to have sort of what I call a blunt-ish ending, because I'll demonstrate if you just pass the beading wire through by itself, you're going to experience that piece of wire getting caught up and stuck in those knits. So you're not going to have an easy time stringing this through, right? Because it's going to get stuck every single time within those knits. And then you're going to be like, why am I doing this? Because I've got things I need to do or other
Right.
things that would cause less pressure points here. But what you can do is grab a crimp, okay, your 2 millimeter softflex crimps. Go ahead and create a little loop here at the end. You're going to create a loop, but you're not going to crimp it. And that's exactly what I did here. So now what you can do is string this right through the chain, sort of. I need to make this a little smaller, and I need to open this up. So I'm just going to kind of open that loop, or open that tube a little bit more. So now whenever I string this through, it's going to just go straight through without going into stuff.
Genius. Oh my gosh, that's such a good tip and a huge one that I don't think I knew. Actually.
Yeah, you do or should go all the way through. Okay, I was able to get that. I was like, whew, I didn't want to cut that. So that's what I did. I strung all of my beads on, and then I created my little fake loop needle here, and then just sort of strung it right through. And that's sort of where you guys have caught me in the project. So I can sort of tell you what to do at this point, which is to create a little pocket here at the end. Nice little pocket. So all I did was just, there's certain little loops and holes within the knits end here that I'm just kind of strung right through. And this pulls together my raw end into a nice little packaged bundle of, I don't know.
Now, when you do this, do you crisscross back and forth, or do you kind of go in like a clockwise pattern? Or does it not really matter? Whatever feels right.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. As long as you go through 3 of them, they're going to kind of overlap each other anyway. And the point of doing that is to make sure that it doesn't shift on the, like whenever you put, I'm going to put bead caps here at the end, and I'll show you another alternative to what you can use. But these just came in the kit, or at least hopefully you have a couple of them within the bead soup mix there, but I just use those as sort of my ends there. Now, if I didn't create that pocket, there's a chance that this could just slide right down after wearing it, right? So you need something to kind of anchor it. So that's why I created that little pocket, just by weaving
Plus,
it.
it kind of pulls it together in a nice way, which makes it kind of fit under that bead cap better. Deanne is asking, you are basically sewing the end?
In a way, I guess. Like, it's a very quick stitch, if that were the case.
I mean, if that's considered sewing, I guess I've done it. I don't feel like I'm a sewer. So now I can say I can sew.
Right, that's exactly right. I feel like sewing is such a heavy term for that particular technique. But yeah, if you want to think of it that way, and if you are a stitcher, a sewer, then by all means, I think that's a great description.
Look at how pretty that looks. It's like a little pumpkin spice bracelet you've got going on right there. It's really
that's
pretty.
Such a beautiful description. You know, I thought that this would be a fun project to kind of marry these two things together.
Yes.
I was sort of figuring this design out, and maybe I could probably do a little drop here. I'd like to kind of conclude, but I should move this up so you guys can see what I'm doing here. But like, what if I just did that and just kind of, you know, made this like multi-design piece necklace here?
That looks really pretty. And I think if you were to add the capture chain, then you'd probably show us one of those little end findings, right, for a
Yeah,
connection.
that's right. Yeah, definitely. It would work in this instance to do that.
Casey is asking, am I watching Sam? No, you're watching Nealay from SilverSilk and More. We met with Sam earlier today. He was on at 11 today.
Oh, Sam. What another sweet, sweet spirit.
Yeah, so Sam from Sam's Bead Shop was here with his sister Rachel, and you can watch the replay of that anytime on the Softlex Company YouTube channel if you missed Sam before Nealay.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the gold. It's like almost a copper color. I feel like I have copper crimps, but they're not like immediately at my desk for whatever reason. So I'm going to just improvise and make this work. But I'm trying to think. You've got two end caps that are single strand, right? So the clasp kind of has to work itself in somewhere. So what I could do is do something a little bit more maybe asymmetrical and maybe put the clasp up front in a fun and discreet way. Or I could do a really long piece. So the possibilities are quite endless.
So right now your capture chain is just one continuous in the back, right? So
Yes, yeah. I don't know. I feel like the blue's a little bit much. Doesn't draw my eye down as much as I want it to, so I might nix that.
because there's really no blue anywhere else, and then in your pendant you were going to have more RNG too, I think. So
Yeah, if I wanted to surprise with a blue down here, I probably could.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
That looks
Okay,
really
it's going
beautiful.
somewhere. I do think I want to wrap it up with my cap though here at the top, so I might just do a little small bead there, and then do this. And I could make use of my jump rings.
So now everyone's seen a little bit of the pipe chain, the hollow mesh, which is what is on the bottom of this design, and then the darker color is the capture chain that Nealay's got up there. So you can enter the giveaway at any time during this video, telling us which one is your favorite or which one would you like to work with if you've never tried it before.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to use a magical crimpers. Seen Sarah and you do this a million times. I was very hesitant to use magical crimpers in the beginning of my Softlex journey, and now I don't know what I would do without them.
I know. Well, it's one of those things when you get comfortable with a tool, it's hard to switch, especially I think a crimping tool, because it's such an important part of your design and holds it all together. So you really want to be comfortable with what you're doing. But once you get comfortable with that magical crimper, it's like I change my design sometimes simply because I want to use that.
Like, wow, yeah, definitely. Sometimes I use it as chain nose pliers too. It's got that nice.
Totally, it's got a nice little front for that, and then you have one less plier.
Right.
Oh, Jennifer's saying she loves the SilverSilk jump rings and head pins too. The metals all match with the end cap findings.
Yes. So my plating system is, I feel like, my favorite thing of my findings. My findings are custom, some of them are custom made for the chains that I carry. For example, I'm using the the single strand end caps, which have teeth inside of the end caps, and the teeth grasp onto the ball chain of either the capture or the Perles chain. But I've also used these end caps for like leather or suede or some other materials for stringing. Sadly, Softlex is too
it's
small.
Too thin. Yeah, you can't use
can't work with that. But that's okay because there's other stuff that will work with it, and then you can string it onto Softlex, right? Such as what I'm doing here.
Right. Yeah, Colleen is saying once you go full magical crimper tool, you don't go back. It's
I don't know
true.
why I
Once
brought
you
that
get
out. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Oh, and Jennifer says that I taught her how to use the magical crimper. I'm so happy to hear that. I love that
There's,
tool.
yeah, for sure. It's super cool.
And Kathy's asking, you can't use the magical crimper with the Softlex Very Fine and the 1x1 crimps, can you? No, you cannot. The magical crimper is for the medium 0.019 Softlex and the 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes. And sometimes you can get away with it on the fine, but I tend to really just stick to it for the medium soft and use a different crimper if I'm changing it up too much.
Yeah, I would say the only workaround to that is if you stuffed the fine several times in a 2x2 crimp to get it really meaty inside of the crimp.
That's true. This way you have enough. It just needs enough to grab onto. Otherwise,
Mhm.
it'll slide a little bit. So you really want to make sure. So you can do that with extra pieces if you really wanted to. That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm feeling the clasp up front. So, but I could always wink, wink, purchase some more in the SilverSilk store.
And and add the clasp in the back.
Yeah.
Or you can do it very long. How long is the capture chain?
Ooh, so in the kit, you get 3 feet. So really, if
Oh
you cut
yeah.
this to 2 feet, so that's like 24 inches, right? So you
Mhm.
could string this over your head pretty easily. And just depending on, you know, what your size preference is, you could even go smaller. I've got a tiny head, so I feel like I can go fairly small if I just
Really?
wanted to
I don't
string it.
think I
Yeah,
could go that small. I probably have to do 24, I would thinking,
yeah.
as my smallest.
Well,
I
I've been
don't.
often told that people have different sized heads, so
So you'll have to test it out for yourself if you don't want to put a clasp on the back, how long you need to make it. But with 3 feet, you have plenty.
yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. In fact, you get 3 feet of in this kit. I packaged it really well. It was 3 feet of capture chain of the dark rose capture chain, 3 feet of hollow mesh, and then I think like 18 inches or maybe a foot of the pipe chain, and then I guess that was it. Oh, yeah, that was it. But it's a good amount of like materials to play with, and in case you do mess up on something, even then you can certainly have some material to recover your design. So I just opened up my end cap a little bit with my chain nose pliers, like as such. And I just spread it apart. Like a couple millimeters makes such a huge difference in the way that this is fed through. Makes it so much more comfortable. And once you've done that, you can use a pair of flat nose pliers. I dipped mine in a product that you guys actually carry called Tool Magic.
Yeah, it's
Sarah
great.
had sent some out to me before, and I'm so thankful for it. I
Yours
love this
looks so
stuff.
nice and neat. Mine's always kind of messy.
Really? I
How did you get yours? Well, that is a pretty nice tool though. It's very flat on both sides, so maybe that's part of
yeah.
it. But I'm like, mine
Yeah, I
don't look
haven't
that
tried the
clean.
round nose or like my other tools yet, but just sort of exclusively use it for this.
Hmm.
And yeah, once I dip it, I just leave it to dry for 24 hours. But then do you do a second dip? Because I do a second dip.
Well, I have, but sometimes I just, yeah, I don't bother, and then
Oh,
I let it peel off, and then I do it again. But that's probably the difference. What's really nice about the Tool Magic is it gives you the same protection like a nylon jaw plier is, but it's not as slippery. It's got a little
hmm.
stickiness to it, and I think that really helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I loved about it from the get-go is that my binding doesn't slip across the room. Like I used to use nylon jaw pliers, and they're so smooth. Well, except for these, these have seen probably better days. But I also used to purposely like run down the nylon coating just to be able to grip my binding a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
better.
So it didn't shoot across the room. I getcha.
Right. And the findings are like, metal is sensitive to whatever's going to touch it. It's going, if you are really crimping down on something, you're going to see it in your metal findings and stuff. And so this was a great way to protect, everything as you're crimping and still be as blunt as you want with it without ruining the end cap.
Pat is saying that she purchased a remnant bag from SilverSilk and More a few months ago and haven't had a chance to use any of it yet. I will make something after today's show. And I just wanted to highlight that because I know those remnant bags are very popular.
Yes. Yeah. I typically have some short runs of stuff, or sometimes a wire kinks in the machine and it creates a very inconsistent product. Like I have to cut it into weird lengths because part of it's knit well and part of it's not. So then I take the really good product that's usable, but I can't really package it because it's too short. I just drop them into a bag and I just started making these little remnant bags of different colors and different styles, different things. So it's very usable product, but I cannot package it as a full product. So then it becomes part of the remnant bag.
Very cool. And then you have lots of different bits and pieces to use in your design. I like that.
Yeah,
Thomas is sharing that link here for anyone that's interested in checking out a remnant bag. And you can find all of Nealay's products at silversilkonline.com, as well as links to his tutorials and signing up for his text messages, all the good stuff.
There's a lots of ways you can get in trouble with SilverSilk. I don't really know what I want to do here. Like I want to make a bail, but I think I cut my little bead strand or my wire strand too short for my beads. So I'm kind of just improvise here and see what I can come up with. But really, this is just a matter of attaching these things together at this point. Hopefully we're okay on time. I'm hoping that I haven't run anybody off course here.
Well, the only thing after you is the after party, and we're at around 2:12 right now. So we've got another 15 minutes or so, which I think should be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I like what you're doing there. You're beading around the entire loop?
I am, but I shorted myself on wire like a fool, and
that's the worst when that happens. What a great idea that is.
Yeah, I also think that actually I do have enough beads. I just don't have enough wire. So we're gonna pretend because I'm gonna do the rest of this off camera probably, since we're
so if you have a little bit more wire, then you can finish it and wrap it around a little bit in the front.
Yeah, and then I could do a little wobbly something or another with this blue bead down here. And then all I would do is probably just attach this stuff together pretty easily.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Jennifer has the SilverSilk satellite store at her house.
Yes, that is a perfect description to what Jennifer is collecting on the back end there. That's hilarious.
Kathy says, loving your necklace, way cool, a very interesting design. Yeah, it's so many textures and colors in there. It's beautiful.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of the description of fall, right? It's just lots of textures and colors out in nature, and this is a nice way to carry that to your design as well. And actually, I thought this would annoy me having it up front, but it really doesn't.
No, I think it looks nice. It kind of it blends in. You can even add little dangles or something if you wanted to. If you were someone that wanted to hide the clasp a little bit.
That's a good idea.
Melissa says, what is the largest size bead that the hollow mesh will fit over?
I would say I've had pretty good luck with 4mm bicones. Anything beyond that is going to be very risky.
Yeah, Colleen concurs with 4mm is what she says too.
Yeah, the pearls and stuff are smoother, so I feel like the 4mm pearls are so easy to go through it. But I would say the trickiest is the bicones, but the 4mm bicone seems to be like the max best
Mm,
thing.
yeah. So Teller wants to eat candy corn now.
Yes,
It does have a
it's a
candy corn vibe. You're
tis
right.
the season for candy
Tis,
corn.
tis the season. You come up, I agree, Barbara says you come up with great designs on the fly. You want to show us that memory wire bracelet
Oh
again
yeah,
just for
yeah,
a second?
definitely. Because I didn't really get to make earrings, but I'm curious to see what you guys will do in the VIB group
So
with the kit.
talented. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Um, I
Super
almost
beautiful.
have a full collection.
And and you just display it like he just propped it on the little pottery dish. You just like you can't
Yeah.
help but display it beautifully.
I have all these fun beads and stuff left over too. So, and I feel
So
like
many.
hopefully I've packed enough for you guys out there to use your imagination and really see. And I included these triple strand end caps, and it was not really intended for a project. I just wanted to get it in folks' hands that they can use it to create something magical with that's triple
Yeah.
strand.
Well, you definitely
What?
have a lot of the capture chain. So if you wanted to do beads
Hmm.
up the back instead of the capture chain, you could probably save those 3 strands to do something with the capture
Yeah.
chain. And
Yeah,
super
definitely. I've
cool.
seen lots of different designs that are just like easy peasy, candy corn squeezy. Like if you just put, the 3 strands on here and just crimped it as a bracelet,
Love
or
it.
if
You
you
can
wanted to
weave some
embroider
beads
them.
in between if you wanted to,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
braid it. I've seen a lot of
Hmm.
your designs braided that look really great. Um, yeah, so final chance for the giveaway question. What is your favorite type of silver silk chain? To win our giveaway, you must be present at the end when we call the name of the show. If you're not around, you'll forfeit your prize. A new winner is drawn. And you're going to win a Peace and Love mystery design kit from Softlex Company. If you already have that kit, just let us know when you message us and we'll work something out. So many good designs. Oh my gosh. I love it. Let me bring us back up into we don't need to see me all big. Let's look at the jewelry.
This is just kind of the tip of the iceberg too. I made something on the fly, right? But again, it's just there's a huge library of projects that are not focused on any trend or theme. They're a catalog of designs that you can make with these materials or your own on the SilverSilk YouTube channel. Just search for a picture and then there a tutorial is for how to put them together with using a specific type of chain. And then again, that resource on my website, the SilverSilk education link that's at the top menu will teach you about the different product lines within SilverSilk
Turned out
and what kind of
so
stuff
good.
you can use with it. So thank
Yeah, and I
you.
want to say you have and Nealay has a regular scheduled programming, right? You do on YouTube?
Semi-regular.
Is it YouTube?
I post tutorials on YouTube, but I hesitate to say regular because it's sort of not regular. But I
Well,
will say
do you still do your Tuesday lives or no? Your roundups?
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's irregular. I wanna commit to like doing it every other Tuesday, but sometimes I just can't because I'm busy trying to do other things within the company's um needs for that week. But
Yeah, it's
yeah, I
hard.
do.
You're a small business. Nealay does it all. So he's, creating the product all on his own. He's packaging it. He's text
Mhm.
messaging you all. He's doing all the things.
And working a full-time job as
And
my day
working.
job.
I know. So, do you let people know when you're going to drop a video on your text messages or email? Is that how they would find out?
Absolutely. So, and then I've got some friends helping me, including Miss Colleen back there, and Miss Joan and Teresa, who are great about reminding folks when a tutorial is coming up. So they'll get a few days in advance notice and then be able to get a text message right before the video starts. Sometimes they are pre-recorded and sometimes they are live and on the spot. So, and then, yeah, Sarah brings up a good point for Fall TGBE, which is a live show. I'll be on there and just making crazy like during my segment. So it'll be a good time. So I'm on sporadically, but when you catch me, it's like 110% that I try.
Yes, Nealay brings it every time, and he does have an amazing YouTube library of tutorials that he's already created in the past that are
Great
just
place to
so
subscribe.
inspiring and evergreen. I mean, you can do these designs at any time, so do for sure check that out. And even though, like Sarah's saying, even though this kit is sold out from Nealay, he is often launching new kits that are just as gorgeous as this one. Be sure to get on his mailing list and even his text messaging list if you want to get first dibs on his kits for the upcoming TGBE Fall Fest before he announces it anywhere else. Make sure you get those text messages from him.
Sarah brought up a good point in the comments section. That answer is when I sleep when I'm sleeping. When I'm dead. That's when I'll sleep. And then with the TGBE conversation, I just wanted to tack on my takeover day is next Wednesday. So that's next week on Wednesday. If you're in the TGBE group, you'll see a lot of my stuff from SilverSilk and more there. And if you're not part of the group, you must come and join us in the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group.
Yes, and you're kicking it off. You're kicking off the takeovers, it looks like this
Am
time.
I? Oh, I guess I might be. So
finale over here and kicking it off.
A lot of pressure
next week. Oh, so much fun. All right, so I think we're ready for our winner, Thomas. Whenever you're ready, see who is here. Oh, it is Jamie. Yay! Jamie. All right, are you still here, Jamie? Melanie says that she's in the group and ready for the event over at the Great Bead Extravaganza.
Fabulous.
Fantastic. Yes. Nealay's up all night long knitting gold. Sarah says.
Oh yeah. So I feel like as a funny joke, I've just described myself as Rumpelstiltskin, but with nicer facial features, right? So I'm sort of knitting wire into gold or silver or whatever, making into silk. That is probably a better term. Turning wire into silk.
Oh, Jamie's here and she says, what?
Yay, Jamie.
You win, baby. You are our last giveaway prize winner for the week. Congratulations. Please go ahead and email us at info@softluxcompany.com so that we can get your information to ship it out. And we'll send you a Peace and Love design kit. Unless you already have it, just let us know and we'll work it out. Oh, Penny's been, yes, Penny, you have been in the group for a long time. She's been in the TGBE group since the start. It's so much fun. Wow. Oh, yeah. Sarah's chiming in that we do have one more giveaway during the after party.
Oh gosh, the fun numbers. Maybe I will enter that one again and see what my luck brings. Because I stayed for this entire
Nealay wants
video.
another chance to win.
I stayed for this entire video. And
Sarah promised every video, so she's doing it on every video. Yeah, I kicked off the week on Monday without remembering at all that she was doing that, and so she was just like, "Did you give things away on Monday?" I'm like, "What? No."
Oh no!
I told everybody we're doing it every video. So when she came on, she was able to give away a couple of them to make up for my lack of not doing it on Monday.
Well, I feel like you guys give it back 120% wherever you can. So I think the after party sounds like another opportunity for someone to score a really cool kit.
Sarah's having her Oprah moment. That's what's going on.
She is.
She's like, you get a kit, and you get a kit, you get a kit.
I'm looking underneath my seat right now.
Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us this week, Nealay. It would not have been the same without you. Aww. So we're very grateful that you made the time to come join us for Customer Appreciation Week.
I was delighted to be invited. I'm glad I got to spend some time with you, Kristen, and our friends out there. This is always such a fun opportunity for us to kind of connect. We do our own things and then figure out some way to connect And this whole week for you guys has been such a success for many reasons. And you guys are so awesome to your customers and your friends out there, and just have an incredible product that I have enjoyed using for the past 10 years with my jewelry and
Oh,
my evolution as a business as well. And we've still found a lovely way to merge and marry our products in these sort of projects together. So
yes, these collaborations are
yeah,
everything. They are really, really a treat. They're a treat for us at Softlex Company, and they're a treat for all of you out there. And then we love to get to work with people just like our friend Nealay. I mean, it just makes it all. And this has been a really long, busy week, but it's been like such a fun week, right? So I adore it, and I adore you, and thank you
oh,
for being here with us.
absolutely. Hopefully, I've been a good tack on to the end of the talent that you guys have presented throughout the week.
Oh, it's
Um,
been so good.
it's so good. So,
It's
so
been
good.
so, so good. So everyone make sure to watch all of the replays, including this replay. And I know we chatted a lot, but you can pause and rewind and see what Nealay was doing on the
Yeah.
replay.
You might have to mute it if I was babbling too much, but then you'll get
Turn us off and just watch what's happening.
the
Such a joy. We love you all so very much. And we will be back with the after party in just about a half hour, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we'll have a bunch of our friends from the week coming back to join us. And we're just going to chat and bead and give away some more kits. So stay tuned. We will see you soon. Lots of us from all of us out here at softflexcompany.com and Nealay from SilverSilkonline.com. All right. Love you guys. See you soon.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you.